Hello Amazon sellers, I'm super excited for this video because I'm sitting down with Neil from PPC Ninja and we are delving deep into the wealth of features this powerful tool has to offer. We try to cover everything in one go, but honestly there is just too much to fit in. So consider this part 1 of our comprehensive exploration of PPC Ninja. Now, before we dive in, if you appreciate the work that goes into creating those videos, it would mean the world to me if you could hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support really helps keep this content coming and ensures you won't miss out on part 2 of PPC Ninja discussion. One last thing, if you want to get your hands on PPC Ninja and see the power it can bring to your business, we have a free trial available for you. Just check the link in the description below and pinned in the first comment. Now let's start covering the secrets of PPC Ninja. Enjoy this video. All right, Neil, thank you very much for coming. Neil is from PPC Ninja, a tool that I heavily promoting or making videos about recently because I'm using it personally in my business, and I really wanted to have someone from PPC Ninja come and show us a demo from their perspective, because I'm sure there are a lot of things that I don't know how to use, and I'm going to learn from this demo as well. So, Neil, thank you very much for coming here and freeing your time to show us all these amazing features in PPC Ninja. Why don't you give a little introduction about you and about PPC Ninja before we start?
Yeah, for sure. Happy to be here, Tomer. So I've been with PPC Ninja for just under a year now. It's a very powerful software that we use for optimizing our clients' accounts. It's designed specifically for Amazon PPC, and it gives us amazing data insights into what is actually going into your account. So from that aspect, it's fantastic. A little bit about me. I am an ex-Amazon seller. I got into the Amazon space in about 2018. I created and designed my own product and eventually ended up getting priced out of my own market, which was unfortunate. But at that time, I found Amazon PPC. And, at first, I really struggled with it. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate with that. But I decided that if I was going to be successful on Amazon, I needed to learn the ads. And so I started with the learning console, and then I started taking some courses. And then eventually it led to me taking digital marketing. And so I went to and did my digital marketing certificate through the university, my local university, and then I applied to PPC Ninja, and now here we are today. So it's kind of a little bit of a take the thing that you hate the most and learn to love it, and now I have a career out of it,
That's a very cool story. So yeah, thank you again for doing this with us. And I'm very excited to start. So why don't we jump into the actual demo and you show us these amazing features?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm just going to make sure that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see. I can see it.
Perfect. Okay, so when you first log into PPC Ninja, this is kind of your main dashboard. So this is a high-level KPI. So as you can see here, we have sales, spend, ACoS. You can plot a lot of these important metrics that you're interested in. Conversion rate is one of the big ones that we look for. So you can see if there's a dip in conversions or if there's anything kind of going wrong from that aspect. So just being able to kind of plot all of your high-level KPIs against each other over time. So before we do kind of dig into this, this is a demo account. It does have kind of a limited data set. So I have data from October 18th to December 30th. So that's why these numbers are so high. But you can also change it to daily, week over week, or month over month if you so choose. And then you can drill down a little further. You can go into sponsored products, sponsored brands, or sponsored display just by clicking on these little tabs. So you can segment your ad types really easy and just kind of give you a bird's eye view, high level on how your account is actually doing.
What I love about the dashboard and about everything in PPC Ninja, that it's super fast. Like it's very quick. Like it's ton of data, and usually when like with other software, it moves very slowly. This one is very fast. So it's for PPC, but those things are also good just as a P&L kind of dashboard. So it's really cool.
Absolutely, yeah. The speed is one of the major things that, when we're loading these large data sets, and data is kind of what we do as an agency when we're loading these large data sets, it's got to be quick. So that from that aspect, it's really nice. So I'm just going to move us into the back end and kind of start in the manage profile section. So we have a few options back here. You'll see that we have a target level ACoS, and we have a branded target ACoS. So this is for your brand name and for your overall account. So like when you log into the advertising console, before you go through and kind of start cleaning up your data, you see the ACoS at the very top. That's what this target level ACoS is. So this is a value that you can just set to whatever, and our bid engine is going to go, if you don't put in a value, that is what our bid engine is going to start optimizing your entire account towards. We also have the branded target level ACoS.
But you have to approve the changes, right? It's not that it's done for you, right? It's not automated.
So there is some actually right here, you can see there's an auto accept bids, and right now it's turned off. But if you want to turn on our bid engine, all you have to do is come in.
Okay.
You come in here, you hit this enable button, and then the bid engine will start to run. And then you don't have to worry about your bids anymore.
Yes.
Typically, if you're a new customer to PPC Ninja, we say run it manually for, we say 30 days, and just come in here and check the recommendations that the bid engine is producing. And you'll be able to make changes to them, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. And we say, run this engine for 30 days. And we do that just to build trust. Like we use it for our major clients, and we turn on the bid engine because the bid engine is really good at monitoring all the bids because we scale. And so with the bid engine, it takes care of all of the day-to-day kind of things. And then you can go looking for the outlier problems that do happen within running a large PPC account. But just going back to the branded level ACoS. So within the software, we actually have multi-level target ACoS settings. And so what this is this is kind of a hierarchy of controls. And so at the very bottom, we have the account level target ACoS, which would be, that number when you log into the advertising console. That's what you see. And then we can do ACoS by SKU. So this is a one-time setup. You can change it if you want. You can come into the back end here. Each individual product can have their own SKU level target ACoS. So you set that one time, and then our bid engine will pick up that, and it's going to start to optimize all of the campaigns associated with that SKU to that target level ACoS. The next we have campaign level target ACoS. So this supersedes your SKU and your default level. And what this does is this allows us to have ranking campaigns because there are keywords that are more important for you. And so if you're okay with having a higher ACoS for some of those ranking campaigns, you can do that through the software here. So you can say, I want my product to be 30%, but this keyword is important to me. I'm willing to spend a little more money. I want to try and create some sales velocity. I'm cool with 50%, 60%, whatever you're comfortable with.
Wow, I didn't know it's possible.
So
you learned a lot of stuff.
It gives you that higher level of control because, when we do want to rank on those keywords, and we're saying, you make a business decision. You say, okay, I'm okay spending more money here. I'm okay with a lower conversion
those organic
rate.
sales.
Yeah, exactly, right? To try and move up the ranks. And so then you can track your tacos and you can kind of see, is this ranking campaign actually doing what it's supposed to do?
Wow.
And then at the very highest level, we have our branded keyword targets. So we say that because if customers are searching for you by brand name, then you should be able to convert at a lower level. And so
for sure.
Yeah, and so we let you put in a lower level branded keyword target ACoS in the backend setting here, and it can be lower than everything else. And our bid engine will pick up the seed keyword, and it will optimize all of those keywords to that level as well. So that is our multi-level targeting ACoS. So when I talk about the branded target ACoS, that's where you set that right here. The account level is right here. And then this is our configure product section. So this is kind of like a one-time setup. You come in here and you say, okay, my product, I want 30%, I want 25%, and we'll say 40%. And it's just a one-time setup. And then our bid engine is going to look at the SKU, and start optimizing all of the campaigns associated with that to these levels here that you set. You can also set this in bulk if you so choose. So you can just come in here and say everything 30%. And then it just does that. So bulk actions are another huge one for us. And then this is the branded keyword section. So this is where you can kind of put in your seed keyword.
Okay.
And
you just have to put the root keyword, or you have to put every single kind of, okay.
Yeah, so it's
put the
just
brand name.
Yep, just the brand name. So I mean, if you're Nike, you just put Nike in here and you hit submit, and then it's going to pick everything up from there. So that's kind of the back end of the software. So there's a little bit going on, but these are all kind of one-time setups that you don't really need to pay too much attention to. You kind of set them up, and then if you're making, from order to order or purchase order to purchase order, your profitability changes, so your target level ACoS changes, then you can go into the back end and kind of change those, make those small changes every once in a while.
Okay.
Now we're going to kind of move it. So we broke this software out into a couple different subheadings here. So on the left side, we have the optimize section. We have the weekly SOPs. So these are the SOPs that our PPC Ninja uses as an agency. These are the ones that we go in and do weekly. And then we have the different views as well. And so there are several different views. We're not going to have time to get into all of them today. I'm just going to kind of touch on more of the important features here. And I'd like to start with the optimized bid section. So this is actually where our bid engine lives. And so what it does is it identifies 3 different states for when keywords need to be optimized. So before I get into that, I need to kind of talk about data sufficiency, the data sufficiency model, and that's what our software is built around. And do you have some knowledge on that already?
No. Maybe you can explain about this more.
Okay, so what we do is a lot of PPC managers will say, set up your campaigns, let them run for a week or 2 weeks, and then every week on Friday you go and you check your bids. And that's a widely accepted thought pattern within optimizing PPC. But at PPC Ninja, we take a little bit of a different approach to it. We say that time is not measured in actual time. Time is measured in clicks. And so what we do is we'll use a scenario where there's 2 different keywords. So we'll say there's one keyword that has 100,000 searches a month, and then there's one keyword that only has 200 searches a month. If you go in and optimize those 2 keywords at the same time, if you wait a week, the keyword with 100,000 searches a month, it moves really, really fast. And so it could generate, 20, 30, 40 clicks in a single day. And so if you wait 7 days to go in and optimize that, you're too late, and you could have blown your budget. Your bid could have been totally out to lunch. And on the other hand, if you have that keyword with 200 searches a month and you go in and optimize it on a weekly basis, it probably hasn't had the opportunity to generate the amount of clicks you need to get the data sufficiency that you need to make an informed decision on where your bid should be. And so what our bid engine does is it actually watches each keyword individually, and it counts the clicks. And when a keyword has generated enough data sufficiency, the keyword is populated inside of the bid engine right here, and we bring it to your attention. So we only bring the keywords that are ready to be optimized into this section for you to review. Now, if you have the bid auto accept engine turned on, then you don't need to come here. But if you're doing it manually, then we've identified 3 scenarios for you to come in and take a peek at. So there's 0 sales, so that's clicks and no sales.
And there is a transparency. I'll tell you why I'm not following this approach in my business. So what I'm doing is pretty much optimizing every let's say 7 to 8 days, and I wait 4 days buffer because to give it some time for the data to come in, because if I optimize something like 3 or 4 days ago, like it won't show me the real numbers. And you're right, because but when I actually optimize, I take into consideration my own kind of metrics. Like if it got only 5 clicks, I'm not gonna be as aggressive with the change, or would be more cautious with the changes that I make. And the same with keyword with more clicks. But there is a point to what you say. If you wait too much for a keyword that getting 50 or 60 clicks a day, that's a problem. But you need to find the balance between being efficient to not losing money, right? So, if you're like me, which I don't like to have automations, I like to have control, and there are some things the machines don't understand. Uh, Only a business owner or someone that really handled the account would know. And that's why I also have to look at it from efficient point of view of how I can manage it, not every day. So what do you think, like, is that, like, I don't think there is a right or wrong here. It's more like approaches and kind of how you look at things. That's how I look at it and optimize. And I tried this method as well. But I just wanted to bring it up, not necessarily waiting for a response. Just wanted to bring it up so people also aware of how I do things here.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's as a business owner, if you're managing your PPC account by yourself, you don't want to be spending all of your time going through troves of bid changes, right? And so that's where this bid engine is saying, okay, we're only going to bring you the keywords that are ready to be optimized. So if you have some of those low hanging or low search volume keywords, they could take, up to 90 days before we'll bring a bid change towards you and say, this is a recommendation, it's not a requirement. And that's what's, you mentioned about not trusting the machines, and AI can cause more damage than good sometimes. And that's something that we totally agree with as well. And we try to give you that high level of control. So if you have the bid optimizer turned off, you can come into the section. It's still going to populate them here, but then we give you final say on what the bid could be. And so
can I consider the rules? Because let's say there is a keyword that got 3 clicks in the last 90 days. I want to be proactive and increase bids so I can get more clicks out of this keyword and not wait 90 days to realize that I need to change the bid. So is there any control of the way that the engine throwing the data here, or no?
No, so there are no custom rules that you can input into the software at this time.
Okay.
But for the keyword you mentioned that's only generating 3 clicks, that would show up in our zero sales section. It would get picked up by the bid engine, and we would recommend a bid increase.
But let's say you got a sale.
If it got a sale, then it would start, depending upon what your ACoS target is. So if your bid was, if you're running in the low ACoS scenario, then it's going to recommend a bid increase. And if it's in the high ACoS scenario, then it's going to recommend a bid decrease.
Yeah. Okay. So it's basically, I guess, covering a lot of like scenarios.
Yeah, exactly. So zero sales is going to be clicks and no sales. And then we have the or no clicks. And then we have low ACoS. So that's lots of orders at a good CPC. And so you want to increase your bid and try and get more customers to come in and see your products. And then there's the high ACoS where your bid may be too high, and you might want to reduce it in order to bring your campaigns back to efficiency. And so this looks at it all at the keyword level as well. So this isn't at the campaign level, this is at the keyword level. It does show you what campaign it is coming from, and you are able to click right into the campaign, and you can see what is going on inside of the campaign as a whole. But we give you a lot of the high level KPIs just in this section right here. So you can see what your current bid is. You can see what our bid engine is recommending for a change. And then you can see if it's a bid increase or decrease. So you can kind of filter that way as well.
Yeah.
And then there's also just some filtering around the trending ACoS, the adjusted target ACoS, and your target ACoS. So the trending ACoS is what your ACoS will be should the next click result in a sale if you're in a zero sales scenario. The adjusted target ACoS, so we have something built into our bid engine called the ACoS stepper. And so what that does is it helps prevent large swings in bid changes. And so if your target ACoS is 30%, but you have a keyword that is running at 10%, we're not going to send it straight to that 30%. We're not going to just increase your bid by, you know, $2
Double.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna bring it up slowly. So we're gonna use a couple midpoints in the way. And so
Nice.
that's where we kind of give you a level of control. And in the back end, that's actually a setting that you can set. So you could say, okay, I want you guys to increase my bids by 10% when it's going well. And when it's not going well, if you want to try and mitigate some of that wasted spend, or you're ready to kind of take action a little quicker, you can say, I wanted to decrease my bid by 20% on the way down. And so it just kind of gives you that a higher level of control on how the bid engine is going to make those changes. And then you can see here, clicks needed before an optimization happened. We give you conversion rate, and then all of the other usual KPIs as well.
So it gives you some data, so you can actually like have the decision or proving the change with some confidence.
Absolutely. And we'll tell you what your bid is and what the recommended bid is. And then you can make the change here, right? You can just make the change here, and then you can just come in here. You can select accept bid recommendations, and then it'll make those changes for you. And those bid changes will show up inside of the advertising console, usually within a minute. Like it's pretty sophisticated software from that aspect.
And I just checked, the clicks needed wasn't something as default showing in my column. So you just click on columns and edit so you can see it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very cool.
And so there's a whole bunch of kind of hidden little columns there. We don't bring them all up there because they're, you know, some of this stuff we look at your 90-day average order value or your 90-day conversion rate, and so we don't display all of the columns.
Yeah. That's, I love the features of the columns. Like there's so many columns you can add, and you can see the data. And what I love about it, you can also change the position of the columns. So it's really cool. Sometimes I need the ACoS conversion in really close to each other and close to the number of clicks. So this is really amazing software. But I'm sorry, go ahead, continue.
So that takes care of our bid optimization engine. So I'll just move on to the next section here. So this is discover keywords and discover targets. And so what this section is we go ahead and clean your search term report. So we have, you know, how you run discovery campaigns. So you have your broader, your phrase, or you have your auto campaigns. So these are, you know, where you can discover new keywords that you may not be targeting yet. And what we do is we go through your search term report and we clean it up for you. And when a keyword has generated at least 2 sales over the last 60 days, and they are unique in your account, we bring them into this section automatically for you to take a look at. So, and we'll give you all of the KPIs associated with that keyword as well. We tell you where the keyword was coming from. We'll tell you what the original keyword, the root keyword where it came from, and we'll tell you what SKU it is. And then we even suggest campaigns where it can go. And so then if you do choose, you can just quickly create a campaign with selected keywords. This is for sponsored products, but this is just a nice time-saving feature because you don't have to go through and clean your search term report anymore. We bring all of those keywords to you, and it's the exact same for the products as well. So these are coming from
I'm using it a lot. Yeah,
it's nice not to have to go through your search term report. Although with the filtering we have, going through the search term report is extremely easy, but it's just nice to be able to come in here and just do a quick check. Oh, are there any new keywords that populated here that I should be advertising on, right? Because if you have at least 2 orders, we're saying that's sufficient data that you should probably start targeting it with a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And so those are for discovering new keywords and targets. And then next we have manage bleeding search terms and targets. And so this is the exact same as well. So these are keywords that have not generated an order. They've generated 20 clicks, but they have not generated an order over the last 90 days. And so over the last 90 days is an important time frame, because as time goes on, you know, inside the advertising console, you use a 30-day look back, or you can go back 65 days. And so if you have those slow moving keywords, you might be running out of a time range inside of the advertising console to
Yes, yes.
collect enough data to be like, oh, you know what, this keyword, it actually is bleeding me money, right? And so we stretch it out over 90 days, and we'll bring the keyword to your attention here. And the match.
Just that feature is so crazy because sometimes I have to go and see performance of a campaign that last year, or like need to see some search terms or some stuff from specific date. And this is amazing. That saved me. Like I was like when I realized that you can do it with PPC Ninja, I was like, wow, it's so amazed because this is a feature that doesn't exist in Seller Central in the ad console, like you said. So this is really powerful when you have not a new account, but an account you run for a few years already. You want, let's say, to compare some data from last holiday season, last Christmas. It's really powerful and important to future planning, kind of.
Absolutely. And that's one of the beautiful features about the software as well. Is so from the time you sign up for PPC Ninja, we're able to pull in 60 days 60 days back from the advertising console. And then we will keep all of your data moving into the future. So if you are a seasonal account, so summer, Christmas, or Halloween, whatever, you can easily go back in time and you can look at granular data from when your impressions started to pick up, when your sales traction really started to take hold, what kind of ad sales you had last year, and how you can kind of start to plan moving into the future, right? Are you going to be seeing a little bit more growth, or is things going to be a little more compacted this year? But being able to save all of your data over that long time for forever is an extremely powerful feature.
But in my account, it was able to pull data even before I signed up, more than 60 days. I don't know how.
Was it 90 days?
I don't know, but I can see data that from last year, and I signed up I think March or around March or April.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't know how it works, but this is amazing because I was able to see data from last year, and that was amazing. I don't know if it's a glitch only on my end, but I can see the data.
That's interesting because, yeah, like I have been signing up some new clients, and they signed up in June, and I can see back in time to March. And
Okay.
so, but yeah, that, I mean, if you can see that far back,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
um, and then just kind of moving on. So if you do
Yep.
have the managed bleeding search terms in here, if it isn't exact, that means the exact keyword is bleeding you. But if you go into a broad or a phrase, that means that these will be keywords that you're not exactly targeting. And they could be candidates for a negative. And so what you can do here is you can just tick it off here, and then you can go add as a negative keyword, and you can help mitigate your spend that way, right? Because on the surface level, that keyword might be doing really, really well, but there could be those terms that show up in the broad, the phrase, that you're not targeting, that are only showing up in your search term report, but then you have to go and clean your search term report, right? So this is just a nice time-saving feature where we can say, hey, these keywords from your broad match are not converting for you. You should maybe consider negating them. Save yourself
How
some
does
spend.
it work with the recent changes to the match types that Amazon did? Is like exact is not exact anymore. So
With that one, it will still kind of show up here as well. And so as far as I know they did just make those changes with the exact and it not being exact anymore. Our system will still pick it up, but I haven't actually come across that yet from cleaning out this managed bleeding search terms. So I will have to get back to you on that one.
okay, that's
Uh,
interesting.
and then the managed bleeding target is the exact same thing, except for this is from your auto campaigns. And then move no impression keyword. So this is another one, and I'm sure a lot of sellers can breathe some frustration at this, is you go ahead and you launch some new campaigns and your keywords never end up generating any impressions. They just sit
Yes.
there and they do nothing, and it doesn't matter. You kind of keep increasing your bid and it doesn't matter. They just continue to not generate any impressions. And if they're not generating any impressions, they're not doing anything for you. They're not generating sales. And so what we do here is we actually highlight them for you. And so we say, these are the keywords that have not generated any impressions over the time period that you set. What you can do here is you can just go ahead and you can go actions, pause keywords. And what you can do here is you can actually export this. So you hit this little export button, and what it does is it prepares a Microsoft Excel document, and it prepares a document that looks just like this table here. And so what you can do is, exactly. And so you can come in here, you can pause all of these keywords that aren't doing anything. And then you can download your keyword list, and then you can recreate new campaigns and give these keywords a fresh start. And so this can be very powerful, because as your account kind of grows, it becomes very challenging to go into each campaign one by one and find those keywords that have no impressions and pulling them out and restarting them. It can become a very tedious task, where here, you can download this list, you can throw it into our bulk file automation tool, and you can recreate those campaigns in minutes versus hours. So it's a nice time-saving feature.
Nice. Now, the recommendation is to do that first, or maybe to increase the bids first?
So we always try increasing the bids first. We try through bid management, but eventually you get to the point where they're just not generating those impressions. And so we use a 90-day look back when we're doing this.
Okay.
As an agency, we look back 90 days, and if they have no impressions over the 90 days, then they're a candidate to get paused and restarted.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And then just kind of moving on, we have identify duplicate keywords. And so what this does is we scan through your account, we look for duplicates, and we tell you how many there are. So in this case, we only have one keyword here. The keyword is actually the keyword, and you can click on this little button, and it's going to tell you where it is. So you can see when it's green all the way across, that's when you are going to find these duplicate keywords. So if you have an account that's a little bit messy, and you have keywords multiple times in multiple, and we do look at the match type as well, so you can single it down that way. And so you can just kind of go through and start to clean up your account that way and stop causing some click spread. And so just being able to come here and quickly identify those keywords is super convenient.
Yes, something I also use.
Yeah, and so that kind of takes care of our optimized section. So that is kind of our more important section where a lot of our powerful features live. But I'm just going to move on to the views section now. So this is...
I have a question. For the optimized thing, it's something that you guys recommend going over like every day, every week, or...
So if you're running the bid engine, so with the discover keywords and targets and bleeding search terms, you can come in and you can kind of do that once a week. If you are running the bid engine, then you don't need to come into the optimize section. But if you're not running the bid engine, then we would kind of recommend coming in every few days and just kind of checking through. It's not going to be your entire account showing up here. It's only going to be the keywords that are ready for optimization. And, if you are doing it once a week and you come in every 3 days or something like that, it's still going to be just as effective. But it's only going to be the keywords that we've deemed ready to be optimized.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And so now we're just going to move into the views section. So what this is all of your campaigns in a view section. And so this is just like the advertising console, except for we've added the functionality of bulk sheets, but we've made it a lot easier without having to use the bulk sheets. And so this is great because you can quickly filter and clean up your data that way. So what you can do is you can come in here and you can say, okay, show me campaigns that have a ACoS greater than 30. And there's not any here because it's a demo count, but I'm going to say 20. And you can see it populates all of these campaigns that have that high ACoS. And so you can start to go into them that way. So you can click into your ad groups if you so choose and start cleaning your campaigns that way. We also give you the budgets, all of your high-level KPIs. There are a few twists here as well. And so over on the right side of the screen, this is how I have my screen set up. Everything here is totally customizable. You can drop and drag depending on what you want to look at. But you can look at your campaign bidding strategy. So that's kind of where the advertising console falls down, is it's clunky, and making these changes where these more advanced changes, they make it cumbersome and challenging. And so we make it so that it's easier to find. So you can
No
filter
problem.
by what campaigns are using the down strategy, what campaigns are using the up down strategy, and what campaigns are running on fixed bids. So you can filter that way. We also show you your top of search and product placement filters here as well. So if you are using those placement modifiers, you can see them here, and you can filter on them as well. So you can say, okay, which placement modifiers have greater than 0% or greater than 20%. And you can filter through very quickly and easily. And all of these boxes, they're editable. So you can just
Crazy.
double click on them and you can just punch in whatever values you want. And it, as I said, it gets updated inside of the advertising console, usually within a minute.
That's amazing. That's amazing. As someone that, whoever that is managing PPC for a long time would really like and didn't see this would really appreciate those features. This is amazing.
Absolutely. And then this is where this campaign target ACoS. So this is where you can set up your ranking campaigns. So as
That's
you can see here,
automation.
not every single campaign has them. And so you can filter on this as well. You can say, okay, show me target campaigns that greater than 0. And this is going to be all your ranking campaigns where you're saying my target ACoS might be 30%, but I'm okay with 70%. And this is where our bid engine will make will override your SKU level and go to the
Okay.
specific campaign level as well.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
And one other beautiful thing about this software is we give you your conversion rate as well. So, if you are looking through and you can see a campaign that has a high conversion rate, you probably want to give that campaign some love. So you can increase your budget here as well. All the budgets are available. And then you can also make changes to these campaigns. So you can do all of these actions in bulk. So you can select several campaigns and you can say, okay, I want to change my budget. I want to set my top of search placement or my product page placement or some rankings or adjust your bidding strategy. You can do all of that in bulk. Another nice feature is that you can flip through again and you can see how many sponsored brands campaigns you're running, how many sponsored display campaigns you're running. So we make it easy to see the overall view of your account. Do you have any advertising gaps and can you fill them, right? And having that full advertising coverage. You can also edit these names right here as well. So you can just, if you're changing your names often or anything like that, you can just come in and you can change them here and it's going to go ahead and reflect it inside the console within a minute. So that is the campaign section. And we also do give you a little chart here as well. And so as we mentioned, we save all of your data. So you can plot all of these over time and you can see how everything, it's a little clunky, it's a little muddled right now, but you can go in and plot your spend in sales, or you can see how the impressions are doing. So you can see, is my campaign getting the proper amount of impressions? Was there a major dip in impressions? How did the clicks do against the impressions? And so you can plot that on a daily, weekly, or monthly as well.
This is really amazing because what I used to do is to go to the console and choose, and you can only choose 2, if I'm not wrong, 2 metrics inside the end console. Here you can choose many. This is really a cool feature.
And yeah, just that higher level of data analysis, right? Being able to look back and see how was it doing. And so once we get into the keyword section, we're going to get a little more granular. I think we can go there right now. And so I'm going to show some pretty cool features. So I always just start off by switching everything to enabled. And then you can start to, so what this is in the keywords view, this is actually an entire list, all of the keywords in your account in a list. So it's just like the bulk file, except for you can make changes to them here and the change is automatically updated. You don't have to go in,
save, upload.
Yeah, you don't have to go over into the columns, say upload or what is it, update, and then go through and start making all these changes. It's just, you make your change here and it is reflected in the advertising console. You don't have to worry about
sometimes you have errors, you have to wait for the file.
Yeah, you're never going to get an error thrown at you. Like that's one of the things that I hate the most about the bulk file is I'm sure anyone who uses bulk files can relate where you make one tiny mistake and it throws off your whole
Yeah,
file.
yeah.
So just being able to make these changes in real time and not have to worry about going through and worrying about that. So this is an entire list of all the keywords in your account. And then we give it to you, we give you the keyword ACoS, we give you the conversion rate, the spend, the clicks, everything like that. And so what you can start to do is you can go through and you can start to clean your data this way too. So when I go through and I'm optimizing an account, I'll take a look, I'll come to the keywords level and I'll say, okay, show me orders greater than 0. And so what this does is it shows me all the keywords that are generating orders. And then you can sort it by spend, or sorry, I sort by sales. And I look at what are my keywords that are generating the most sales. And I'll pay attention to those keywords first. One of the very cool features about this is we give you a chart at the keywords level. And so we're the only software that gives you this kind of granular data level. And so what you can actually do is you can see when was my last bid change. So you can see, oh, it's right here. It happened on December 15th. It was 43 cents. And then on December 16th, it got changed to 28 cents. And then on December, I can't see what date, 19th, it got moved up to $1.11. So we're telling you when these bid changes were made. And the
You
cool
can have
thing about
correlation
that,
with conversion rate and other stuff. Yeah, okay.
yeah, so you can overlay your impressions on it. So you can see how does your bid change impact your impressions, right? So did decreasing your bid by 5 cents, what did that actually do to your impressions? Because some people like to move their bids by 5 cents, 10 cents. And so you can actually see what kind of impact that bid change has on your impressions, or what does it do to your conversion rate as well, right? So we can
Wow.
plot all of this data over time. And there are some pretty cool ones here where you can see, you can really see how changing the bid impacted the
Impacted.
impressions.
Impacted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
really amazing. Wow.
yeah, so this is granular, this is beautiful granular level or granular keyword data that it's just so valuable when you're going through and trying to troubleshoot campaigns, right? If a keyword
Yeah, I
randomly
didn't know
lost
about this on
performance,
the keyword level. Wow, that's really
yeah,
amazing.
you know where that bid was when the keyword was performing its best. So you can say, okay, when were my sales the highest?
Mm.
Where was the bid when my sales were the best? And you can go through and you can figure all that out. So you can go back in time and you can look at where that bid actually was. And then you can see, has my CPC increased because of external circumstances like new competitors coming in, driving up CPCs. And so you can kind of see, you can plot your CPCs over time and see, is it getting more expensive to advertise in this niche as well?
And you can connect it with your keyword ranking. So go with whichever tool you use to track keyword. And if you see a drop in one of the keywords, you just take it, go here in the split second, you figure out what's going on. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do after this call, actually.
And so another cool feature is, so because this has a limited data, I'm going to just go into the identify duplicate keyword section here. And the keyword is actually keyword. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to go back to the keywords view. And I'm actually going to punch that keyword into the bar here. And so then you can see it populated a whole bunch of keywords here. And some of them have 2 Ds, or the seed keyword is there. So you can see here we have contains,
Thanks.
not contains, equals. So this would be an exact match. Not equal starts with, ends with. So you can come in here and you can say, okay, I want to find the keyword that equals this. And so then you can see here that from the active status, we do have 2 of them. It is the exact same. And so then you can kind of start to compare these as well, right? You can say which keyword is actually performing better. Or another cool trick that I like to do is when you're launching new campaigns, as I mentioned earlier, we have to manage those bids to a point where they generate at least 2 clicks in order to get picked up by our bid engine. But that can be cumbersome, right? Because you have to go in, if you're launching a large amount of keywords, it can be extremely cumbersome to go in and manually change all these bids. But we can do that in bulk. So you do have the option of bulk functionality here as well. So I like to put the date in the campaigns when I launch them. And when I punch the date into the campaigns bar, even though we're at the keywords view, we're now isolating by, we're having all the keywords in any campaigns that have 2023 in them, they're populated here. And now what you can do is you can come in here and you can increase these bids in bulk all at one time. So you can launch, 30, 40 keywords at once, and you can increase their bids incrementally all at once to get them to the point where they start generating impressions. So this is a huge time-saving feature as well.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you can also kind of segment by your different match types, so broad, phrase, and exact, so you can see how they're doing as well if you want to get down into the granular level of things. Another way you can do that is, we'll use this keyword as an example. You can see, are you targeting keyword in a broad? You're not. So you might want to think about that. Are you targeting it in a phrase? You're not. Are you targeting an exact? You are. And then, so you can kind of start to find holes in your advertising coverage as well. And so it makes it easy to be able to, so if a keyword is converting really well for you in an exact or in a broad, then it's probably a good idea to move it into, you want to make sure that you're covering it in every different match type if it is performing for you. And so then what you can do is you can even grab that keyword and then you can go and filter by sponsored brands. And you can see, do I have this in sponsored brands as well? Because we do recommend a full advertising funnel. And so that means using all the different advertising types. So sponsored brand headline ads, sponsored brand video, store, all those kind of things. So you can see how many times you have that keyword. And if it makes it easy to find out if you're missing that keyword in a match type or in a targeting type. And then we also kind of give you the recommended bids from Amazon or the bid range from inside of the advertising console. So if you're not sure where the average bid is, then you can also kind of come here and look at that as well. We also give you the conversion rate at the keyword level as well. So you can say, show me keywords that have a conversion rate greater than 10. Unfortunately, because of the demo account, we don't have anything here. Greater than 7, nope. Greater than 5, nope. 4%. So then you can say, okay, where are my best, what keywords have my highest conversion rate? And you can quickly filter down and say, oh, these keywords are converting for me really well. I should probably get more aggressive on a bid because they have such a high conversion rate. So just the filtering, it makes everything so easy.
Sure. Those filters are like, it's crazy what you can do with it.
Yeah. Oh, and so I'm just going to touch on these filters just a little more. So you can say orders equals 0. So this is going to be keywords that have no sales. And then you can sort by spend and you can say, okay, show me keywords spend greater than $20. So these are 0 orders, spend greater than 20. You probably want to take action on these. Our bid engine would have picked it up, but sometimes you still want to come in and just make sure that they're still not spending. So being able to add multi-level filters across the entire suite of keywords, it really allows you to drill down into performance or performance issues. The targets is the exact same thing as the keywords view, except for this is for your competitor targeting, and then this is where your sponsored display and your auto campaigns are also going to live. And so then you can filter through and you can see what kind of sponsored display campaigns you have. Unfortunately, we don't have any here. Or your auto campaigns, you can select auto here, and it is just going to show you all of your auto campaigns, and then it's going to tell you where it came from. So what kind of targeting type you're after, whether it's close, loose, compliments, or subs. And then again, we have the charts and the bids and the filtering. These lists are also exportable. So if you guys are really good with Excel or Google Sheets, you can export this list and you can go through and you can do a VLOOKUP or you can do a deduping process, and you can find new keywords that you might not be targeting if you're going out and doing your own keyword research instead of waiting for the Discover Keywords or Targets tab to pick those up for you. And then I think the last feature that I'm going to touch on today is going to be the campaigns placement speed.
Neil, maybe we can. There is so many things here that we should cover. Maybe we should make another video, like part two, where you can show also the rest of the things, like targets, every page, and also the data studio. That's something that I think very cool and deserve like enough time to go over it. What do you think? Would you be kind enough to come another time to our channel and do say part two?
Absolutely. If you're interested in having me back, I'd be more than happy to come back and kind of really go through all these features in detail to help out our customers or
Yes.
help people better learn about the power of PPC Ninja.
For sure, because I'm using it for a few months already, and just by you explaining things, I wrote a few things here already that I'm going to take action on, and I learned a lot of things. So as me that using it for a long time, I think that I learned a lot. So someone that never saw it, I think would need part two. So yeah, I think it's better to finish right here, and we'll have part two later on. Yeah, I really appreciate the time that you put here, and you explained very, very well. Um, we can tell that you have a lot of experience with PPC and with PPC Ninja, and you did an awesome job. So thank you for that. And it's awesome software. It's really powerful, and I definitely think that everyone should check it out. There is a free trial that you can get. We'll put a link to it in the description, so you can sub through our link, and we'll also get some commission if you decide, of course, to use it. And I'm sure you'll decide to use it because it's so powerful, and someone that manage PPC will really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Neil. Anything you want
Absolutely.
to add before we wrap it up?
No, it was fantastic making my YouTube debut here. So thanks a lot for having me on the channel, Tomer.
Yeah, I think you look like it's not your first time, so you did a great job. And I'm sure that many more would come after this one. So thank you for your time again, and we'll see you in the part two.
See you on part two.
Thank you.